Hello everyone, it's Sly and welcome to the November journal entry for my Korean immersion learning journey. So this is the 7th YouTube video or reflection I guess I'm doing, so we're getting there. Some cool stuff has been happening, so I'll kind of go straight into it of like my notes and stuff for this month. I've come to the conclusion that my vocabulary is far below the level that it should be at, given how far I am into my Korean immersion. So therefore I've kind of come to the conclusion that it's time to lock in on Anki and make sure I'm actually learning new words and not constantly relearning the same words because I'm trying new tools or new decks, and it's just time to lock in a bit with some new words because I think it was quite common for me, at least for the last 1 to 2 months, to just be revising the same words, and they might be new in Anki, but in reality I already knew the words and already studied them in other decks, so there was a bit too much like mismatch and crossover happening. So the plan going forward is finish Retro's beginner vocabulary sentences deck, finish the refold deck. Once they're both complete, move on to the intermediate, Retro's intermediate sentences deck, and then back to maybe AutoMine subs to SOS decks. I've put these on hold for now, but I might go back to them. And also Kimchi Reader Mind sentences going forward as the main source of new vocabulary. As well as, once I finish that one, move on to idiomatic expressions as well as Hanja, because I think they'd be quite useful too. And I've sort of done some reflection on what I think my level is at relative to refold sort of stages. So I think I'm somewhere between stage 2A and 2B. So stage 2A is defined by level 2 comprehension, which is bits and pieces. So I kind of copy and paste what they have on their webpage here. So stage 2A means like you can recognize 1 or 2 words in most sentences, and every once in a while you understand an entire sentence. You have an extremely vague sense of what sort of things are being talked about. And stage 2B is defined by level 3 comprehension, which is gist. You can recognize at least half the words being used, and it's not uncommon for you to fully understand entire sentences. You're able to follow along with most of the main ideas that are being expressed, but many smaller details are lost. Recognize 50% of the words being used, which also doesn't mean you actually understand or know these words, only that you get the sense that you've heard and seen them before. Occasionally understand entire sentences and follow the plot points of the story, although the details will still be a mystery. I think I recognize at least half the words being used. It isn't uncommon for me to fully understand sentences. I think following the main ideas that are being expressed can be difficult, as well as like following the plot points of the story. But I think to me, following the plot points of a story is knowing the details, but it does say the details are a mystery. So I think I'm like closer to 2B than I am to A. But I think like I'm probably, if I actually kept up with my vocabulary properly, I'd probably be like a solid 2B. But because of that, I think I'm kind of in between, but I should be kind of here, I think. But anyway, so I want to try and hone my immersion content focus too, because I have been kind of watching most of my immersion for the last maybe 1 to 2 months again has been probably stuff that's could be a bit too difficult. Like I've done a lot of listening, and I've ignored subtitles for probably 2 to 3 months now, and I think I might be like shooting myself in the foot a bit with that. So I want to do I still want to keep listening as the main majority of my immersion, but I want to still do like some reading. So like some reading of subtitled videos or webtoons with lookups. Like I wrote here, like 25% of the time might be good. And then consider mining any 1T sentences I find here using Kimchi Reader and send them Anki, but I'm not sure yet. I might do this, but I might like at least mine them where I find them, but I might not actually study them in Anki yet. We'll see. And then what I've been doing already, which is just free flow the immersion of videos without subtitles, lookups, or stoppages, and make that like 75% of the time. And when I look at like the beginner level words this should be Kimchi Reader. There are a lot of words I know, and heaps that I've seen marked as unknown. So words that I've seen there's a lot of words I've seen and know that are marked as unknown or seen. But I'm going to try holding off marking them as known and seen until I either mine them or they come up in any of my Anki decks. I'd ideally like to prevent any crossover between words I mine and those that are in the Anki decks I already use, but I'm not sure if that can be helped. Otherwise, I have to wait until I finish the pre-made Anki decks I listed before starting to mine. So yeah, that's just me being quite conservative with marking words that I know and seen, and just making sure I don't mark stuff that's known or seen that I don't have in Anki. But to be honest, if I see the word I know it, I should just mark it known or seen, like whatever I think is right. But I just like knowing which words I've got cards for. Anyway, I also reworked my toggle tracking again, so you'll see that later. I got ShareX set up for easy tracking OCR clipboard pasting, which is really cool if I want to start doing webtoons. So I'll kind of show that off actually, hopefully. And here's some of the stuff I've been immersing in this month. So Naya Ajashi, Musege Sonyo, we've got Onubuto, Keyag Yone, be my boyfriend, 20th century girl, my mister. I can't go without, butchering some pronunciation here and there. So don't mind me. We've also got Pokemon. I've been doing some Pokemon. Star Wars Vision as well. I kind of, this is more for fun. It's really hard to understand fantasy and sci-fi. It's not where I'm at yet. So, but kind of some cool stories in there. And I've also been playing some games too, like mostly Pokemon Brilliant Diamond in Korean. For some fun. Sometimes I miss playing games, so this is good to get the best of the both worlds with games and learning Korean. I did a little bit of Violet and more of White, but I'm just going to focus on this one rather than trying to do 3. Anyway, some stats. Kimatria, 758 known words, 340 seen words. Still lots of words marked as either unknown or seen that actually the many of, but no problem. Anki studied every day this month. 1,381 total reviews. 600. I feel like this isn't right, but anyway, 691 young cards. 1,888 mature cards. I did rework my Anki a bit, so they're not as big numbers as you'd expect. So in terms of the toggle tracking for the month, 43 hours of active input, 101 hours of total study, including passive input, 60 hours of total study, excluding passive input. This will include Anki on top of this. And year to date, 190 hours active input, 534 total hours, including passive input, 357 total hours, excluding passive input. 500 hours. Woohoo! So I hit 500 hours of everything in total this month, which is kind of cool. But I've come to the conclusion that passive input is kind of like cheating. I think it's like fake hours. I don't think it's as valuable as any other immersion. It's definitely still helpful, but I don't want to be just tracking it to boost hours. So I think this number is a better indication where you exclude passive input, but still include your Anki deck work. Anyway, so I thought let's have a look at a few things. This is this month's. Oops. This month, yeah. Why is it? There we go. We had 41 hours of passive input, 43 hours of active input, and 17 hours of priming. And if you look at the year, we've got 177 of passive, 190 of active, 164 of priming. I think this number is wrong. I think there's too much here. I don't know. I just have this feeling that there's too much there, but I think I'm trolling by saying that. I think there actually is just that much. If I do this, yeah, I just did so much passive in the last 2 months that the number's big. I never really did much outside of that, but yeah, it's kind of just boosted up a lot because I've started doing so much of it and tracking it. Yeah, that's pretty good. I'm glad I hit 500 hours, but again, I don't think passive input should really count. But anyway, that's that. What else? I was going to show off this, right? Sorry for the flashbang. But this is with Share X, right? So I can like highlight. Oh. Uh-oh. Maybe crash my computer while I'm at it. Oh yeah, never mind. It's working. And then I can like paste it in here. Like straight away. It's quite cool. Boom. I can click words and stuff if I come across them in a webtoon. I don't know why my computer just completely freaked out when I did that. You can also like auto clipboard it too, so I can, you know, check things like that. This is another case of a word that I know the meaning of, but it's marked as seen. But anyway, that's that. Same words are shown there. But anyway, I don't really have anything else to say. I think I should write here that get a tutor to practice speaking with in the new year. I think that'd be a cool goal, to practice speaking in the new year. So that's my goal for the new year. Get into speaking more. But anyway, thanks for listening to me rant for 11 minutes now. I didn't realize this has been so long, but I guess I had a lot to talk about this month, which is a good thing, because I know the last few videos have been short. But yeah, thanks for watching, and I'll see you at the end of December, closer to the new year. Have a good one.